Results across all levels of the exams every year attest to the quality of our top-notch physical and online program in the last 10 years. That's right, we have been impacting the industry for 10 years and have supported about 2,500 professionals in that time space. Register with New Frontiers Learning today. Across all New Frontiers Learning is the #1 tuition center for the CFA exams in Nigeria. Our founders went through their CFA journey with little or no support of any kind. However, they vowed to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate earning the CFA Charter, irrespective of their backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. It is this commitment to support our candidates that influences our engagement of a world-class faculty, partnerships, scholarship and discount offers, our online learning management system, and so much more. Our clients' outstanding results across all levels of the exams every year attest to the quality of our top-notch physical and online program in the last 10 years. That's right, we have been impacting the industry for 10 years and have supported about 2,500 professionals in that time space. Register with New Frontiers Learning today.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Welcome to another edition of the New Frontiers Learning Impact Series. And today we're talking about Level 1. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. It's going to be an exciting 90 minutes. Hopefully we don't get to spill over, but it's going to be a very engaging time. Our speakers are ready and they're excited to be here. I engaged with them before now and I know they are ready for you. Take on your questions and help as many of us as possible, right? So it's just another time to be able to pour ourselves and just help as many as we can out there. It's a very exciting opportunity to be here. So if you know anybody, whether they are candidates of the CFA program or somebody who hopefully would benefit from this session, I think you will do them a lot of good by just reaching out to them, send them a chat or something and just say, hey, we started and let's just have a wonderful time tonight. So once again, you're very much welcome and we're excited to have you here. We're looking forward to a very beautiful time we're looking forward to a good time. I mean, let's just leave it at that. So tonight, I just run you through the program quickly, just so you can have a quick understanding of what we will be doing tonight. Tonight, we would begin with a quick introduction of our speakers, and we'll interview them, move straight to the interview questions that we have for them. There will be a quick presentation on the CFA exams and yourself. And then we take question and answers from the audience and before we call it an evening. So it's a fully loaded night and I think you must be excited to be here as well. So let's just go straight into it. But before we continue, I like to be sure that you can hear me and that you can see me. So if you can hear and see me, just respond by typing in the chat and say yes. Maybe 2 Ys. When you type 2 Ys, I know you can hear and see. If you type 1, I know you can probably just see and not hear or hear and not see. So we'll have to fix something. Okay, thank you, Jason. Thank you. Oh, why? Okay, Judy, thank you. Okay, Oluwatobiloba, thank you. Okay, Adebisi, thank you. Oh, good. So we're going to have a really engaging audience tonight. So let's get started. Okay, so tonight we have thank you, Laura, I saw that, thank you. Okay, good. So tonight we have the privilege of hosting 2 wonderful people. The first person would be Joy Olisa, who is a member of faculty at New Frontiers Learning Center. Joy Olisa is a chartered accountant and chartered financial analyst for CFA charter holder with over 7 years experience delivering transaction and deal advisory services to clients and offering financial audit services to private and listed entities across several industries. She works with one of the big 4 accounting firms and has developed a wide range of experience in business valuation, due diligence, mergers and acquisitions, financial analysis and reporting, and data analytics. Joy passed all levels of the CFA exam in one sitting, scoring above the 90th percentile in the CFA Level 1 exams. When she's not working, she's passionate about mentoring the next generation of leaders through the Women in Consulting community, and she also loves to write and inspire young professionals in the areas of financial literacy, career development, and positioning. So we're excited to have Joy Olisa on our faculty, and more importantly, as one of our panelists tonight. So Joy, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So, thank you. I hope I did justice to your profile, or did I miss out anything?
Okay. No, yes, you did. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joy. So let's go to Shubomi. We have to do ladies first, right? I know Shubomi doesn't mind. So Shubomi leads the financial performance management and group controlling team at Afia Care, where he monitors the performance of our portfolio companies and aids value-adding initiatives around strategy, operations, and financing. Prior to this role, he worked with the strategy and investments team, where he got hands-on experience in investment analysis, mergers and acquisitions, fundraising, strategy formulation, and implementation. Shubomi is passionate about Africa's socioeconomic development and strives to play a part by committing to private sector-led initiatives he believes in. He does so by leveraging his growing knowledge of finance, business acumen, and entrepreneurial spirit. In his spare time, Shubomi loves to read books, listen to music, and attend social functions. So, Shubomi Dixon, you're welcome tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for agreeing to do this for us. Thank you. Okay, so again, if you've attended any of these sessions before, you will know what we typically do is to bring 2 people together, or bring people together, a minimum of 2, so that someone is speaking from the perspective of a charter holder, and most likely a faculty member as well at New Frontiers. Then someone is speaking as a candidate, right? And the good thing about it is Shubomi passed his exams recently in the February exams. I'm sure I'm correct about that, right? The February 2022 exams. Yes. And today, while I was preparing for this meeting, I remembered a very interesting experience when Shubomi came to school, I think a week before results were out, and told us, I'm coming to register next week for level 2. I hope you will tell us more about that tonight. How you yeah, so okay. So thank you very much. So over to you guys. I know I've said some things about you, but I think you should also just introduce yourself briefly, then we can jump on the questions. So Joy, we'll just begin with you.
Thank you very much. In addition to what you've said, I also have a master's degree in finance, and I love to read. So those are the only 2 things I'd like to add. You've introduced me well. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so Shubomi.
Okay, so I mean, you said everything. Yeah, you said everything. So
right. That's fine. So let's just dive straight into it and let's get started. I'd like to say to our audience, please begin to engage from the start. You're free to type in the comments in the chat box and just say whatever it is you have to say. If you would like to say something at some point, you could use the raise your hand feature, and then we'll unmute and allow you to speak at some point. But feel free to use the chat box and you can take on all your questions so that we can take on all the comments and questions that you might have as we go tonight. So let's just dive right into it. So I like to always start from this question. And the reason why I like to start from this question is that I believe that since the CFA exams is one of the world's toughest exams, this is publicly available information. It's not something that anybody is cooking up. I believe that you must have a strong reason why. You must have a strong why, right, for taking the exams. Because at some point along the way, if you do not have that, you might have reasons to drop out of the program, right? So there has to be a strong why. And that's why I always like to start by asking, what drove you into finance? Why, of all career options in the world, how did you land on finance? How did you get into finance? Why finance for you? So maybe we should start with you, Joy.
Thank you, Ayo. Why finance? I'll start with my background right from secondary school. I've always been in commercial class. I've always liked accounting. So, because the natural path to that was I studied accounting at the University of Nigeria. And then I started working as an auditor with one of the big four accounting firms. And sometime in 2017, just 2 years after I resumed, I started wondering what next. Now, working with accounting, you are preparing financial statements or auditing financial statements. And then I just wanted to go to the next level of aiding users to be able to make financial decisions with financial statements. So finance was the natural path for me, going from accounting to, with my background in accounting, to leverage on that and make better use, provide insights on financial statement. And so that drove me into finance. And at that point, I decided, should I go the academic route of master's in finance, or should I take CFA? And both options actually looked good for me. At that point, I decided to take both, and then go the professional route and the academic route. So that's how I ended up in finance. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So hopefully I'm sitting with a professor emeritus in the making.
Who knows?
Right, at some point, who knows? Right, yeah. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So it was a natural progression for you. And this question comes up to people, right? You know, during the course of their career. Okay, I've achieved this. What next, right? I mean, after this, what next? So it's something that typically comes up to people's minds. So thank you very much for that, Joe. So Shubomi, let's hear from you. Why finance, and maybe why the CFA exams as well?
Okay, so for me, right, I didn't study anything finance related in school. I actually studied mechanical engineering.
Excellent.
And then after school, I had this phase where I had like a bit of self-discovery, like reflections, asking myself what I really want to do. So, I mean, I always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I tried getting into one or two businesses, and they were colossal failures because like I didn't really understand like the finance aspect of it. Like I didn't even understand how like a financial statements worked and all, and the whole investment bit. So I started by just reading books like Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Poor Dad, Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. And then I started working in a finance role where I currently work. And my mentors also did like CFA. And then it just seemed like the right thing for me to do at the time. I mean, it was a difficult thing because the exam is kind of like expensive. It takes like some high level of commitment and all that. But I just put my mind to it, and that's how I found myself here.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So, I mean, it's very interesting story. So you pivoted from mechanical engineering into finance. It's always a beautiful story when I meet people like this. I mean, there's a member of our faculty whose first degree was in medicine, got licensed as a medical doctor, and teaches, hasn't only passed the exams and doesn't only work as a charter holder in the investment space. He's a member of our faculty at New Frontier. So it's always interesting when I hear stories like this. So I mean, I'm sure our audience are in for a very exciting time this evening. Okay then. So let's move straight into level one. Let's get into level one. Let me ask like this. So Shibomi, you're currently in the level 2 program. You're a candidate in the CFA Level 2 program right now. After you passed your February exams this year. So it's still fresh in your memory, right? What was level 1 like to you? What was level 1 like to you?
To be honest, level 1 was very trying. Like, it really tested me at the time because I was learning a lot of things that I had no idea about. It was like coming into a whole different world, right? So at the beginning parts, everything was a bit confusing. So I started reading like earlier on last year before I started lessons on New Frontiers, and like looking at the curriculum, everything was always very complicated. Like, what are you talking about? What is a bid-ask spread? What are all these things? Like, all these things always seemed very complicated. But eventually, like over time, it started making sense. And I would say at the end of the day, it gave me like an overview of like every aspect of finance, pretty much. So I started understanding things that I was seeing on CNN, like stock prices. I started understanding news from Bloomberg, things that did not look that looked foreign before started making sense. So yeah, I think it was a very enlightening experience. To level 1.
Okay. Yeah, so you've spoken generally to level 1, and thank you very much for that. But I want to know your biggest memories, your aha moments, right? Those times that were, you've spoken generally. I want to know were there specific moments like that were, so this is it, right? So, wow, those kind of moments, just your biggest memories in level 1.
My biggest memories in level 1. That would probably be like towards the exams. Like a month to the exam, I start asking myself, guy, are you sure this is what you want to do? How did you find yourself here? Who brought you here? Who brought you here?
Reality check.
And maybe when I did my first mock exam at New Frontiers, that was because like you'd be reading, you'd be thinking, oh, you're understanding, and then you now have like this rude awakening that there's a big difference between like understanding and being able to like answer the exam questions, that kind of thing. So I think like a month towards the exam was the period where I experienced that.
Okay. Thank you very much. So the biggest moments came when you were able to start solving questions, and you found out you could connect, right? Just before exams, after all this period.
The biggest moment came when I found out that I could not connect.
That you could not connect?
Yes.
I didn't get it.
The biggest memory was when I found out that I could not connect at the time, and I had to like put in more efforts. That was
especially since it was 1 month to go at that time. Wow. Good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so Joy, let's hear. Do you still remember level 1, and what were your memories? That was the level where you scored above 90th percentile in all your courses.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I did. And to juggle my memory, I tried to go through some of the writings, and I'll tell you why I write. CFA Level 1 was grueling for me. It was like nothing else I had seen. And it cost, at that time, I think about 3 months' salary. So I wasn't going to fail that exam. Like, too expensive to fail. And there were times I would think, I can relate to what Dixon is saying. There were times I would think, am I on a wild goose chase? Who send me? I already have ICANN. Like, this is not compulsory. It is not needed. Like, if you need excuses to not write this exam, you'll find excuses. Nobody send me. I'm fine. I don't need it in my current role. And then I'll think of all those. And then I'll think, I usually pay my exam fees on time. So once I've paid, I've made a commitment. like my money is not going to burn. Literally, just translating that from Yoruba to English, my money was not going to burn. So I was going to give it everything. There were times I was actually discouraged, but my commitment was to give it my best. To even if I would fail it, I would know that there was nothing else I could have done, and so I gave it my best, and thankfully it worked out well.
Wow. Okay, good. So again, you've spoken generally. So those moments, do you remember anyone?
I remember the curriculum for level 1, I think is the largest. And I read page to page, like from one page after the other. I don't do well with summaries, so I prefer to read everything. So I read the entire, I think 3,000 pages. I remember that I was tracking my hours. I was managing it like a project. I remember going for my friend's wedding about 2 or 3 weeks before the exam, and I was panicking. I couldn't even enjoy the event. So those are the things, the key moments I remember. And I remember just solving every question that I could lay my hands on, solving. And then as time went on, it just got better. You get used to the questions, even though you're panicking, but you get used to the question. You see your mock scores, and sometimes you have hope. And that was the journey.
Wow, excellent. Thank you so much. So it looks like the exam doesn't leave you in a place where doesn't allow you get to a place where you are overly confident, right? So it allows some measure of fear that until you've passed the exam, you haven't passed, right? It still leaves that, but again, it allows you get confident, as you prepare over time. So thank you very much. I mean, level 1 is an interesting level, and like you said, it was like the most grueling for you. It's interesting, the perspective that you bring into that. So thank you very much. I hope our audience, you guys are picking something helpful already. You can begin to engage with us in the comment section, in the chat box, and if you have anything you want to say. So I'll just move straight to the next question. And this one tonight is straightforward, right? Is to ask, and this is where I think you're going to spend a lot of time. We're going to spend a lot of time. We're not going to rush. This question is the reason why we came tonight. Now, I just want to find out, from your perspective as a teacher and charter holder, that's Joy, and from your perspective, as a candidate, Shubumi, what would you share, right, to be the optimal strategy or tips when it comes to passing the level 1 exams? You're going to take your time, line by line, one after. This is the reason why we came tonight. What you think is the optimal strategy? What you think are the tips we have found that will help with level 1, not level 2, not level 3, not the entire CFA program, just CFA level 1. I mean, please just tell us those things that when somebody leaves this meeting this evening, they can sit down with those things, run with those things. Yes, you are not guaranteeing the scores because you don't even mark them. I mean, nobody guaranteed yours. But again, this I know works. This I know doesn't work. Stay away from this, stay with this, and all that. So as practical as you can get, please, for the benefit of our audience tonight, what would you say are those tips or optimal strategies, for passing the level 1 exam? So let's start with you, Joy.
Okay, thank you. So I'll go one after the other.
Yeah.
So one of the things that helped me was I know the reading strategy that worked for me. And so I did not put myself under pressure to read like other people. Other people can read a summarized version and understand it, but it will not just work for me. I have to read the entire thing. That was just the way I read. And then apart from reading strategy, was also timing. When I was in university, I did night class, but right now, night class, or at least when I was preparing for the exams, night class did not work as much. I remember then I was working in a client's place at Ikoyi, and then I would go to the office in Lagos Island, and I would stay overnight reading. And that was on Friday. I usually do that only on Friday nights, and Saturday would be useless. I tried that like twice because I was reading with somebody else. After that, I just said, this is not for me. I can't read in the night. It's better I read just 3 or 4 hours on Saturday morning and I'm good. So do what works for you. Even if your friends can stay up and they can survive on 3 hours sleep, if you cannot survive on it, there is no point trying to do it. And then most of us, we've gone through university, so you know the reading strategies that work for you. And so it's better you just start from a place of strength. Now, talking about starting from a place of strength, being an accounting graduate, my strength area is financial reporting and analysis and derivatives. Prior to CFA, I had nothing or little to do with derivatives. So I spent more time on my areas of weaknesses or the less familiar areas, and then less time on the parts where I knew I was very confident on. With then another thing is your why. When you were introducing, you mentioned that you have to have a strong why. And my why was very strong. It was like I needed this. Without this, I do not know how I was going to move forward in my career. So I needed it so badly. And so whenever things came up in my schedule, I was always pitching it against my CFA. Is this as important as my exams? And that continued constantly. So your why has to be strong. You cannot do it because everybody else is doing it. Your why has to be strong. And then I would also say you should have a support system. That's something that New Frontiers give you, because you have your colleagues. Because I mostly studied on my own. For some part of it, I studied on my own. I did not have a lot of people around me who actually understood what CFA was. But I remember there was this friend I wrote CFA with, and when I tell her that this thing is, I'm scared about this exam, she just connected. It's like that. So when you tell somebody about your fears and they're telling you, don't worry, that is normal. Like, you cannot tell somebody writing CFA that you're afraid and they just tell you it's normal. Like, that's part of the process. You should be afraid. If you're not afraid, I'll be afraid for you. So the fact that she was there to tell me that is normal, that was a huge comfort. The fact that I'll go online and maybe visit Reddit or check up on other people, how it's going with them, and then I'll hear stories that I can relate with, gave me comfort. And then another thing is I also had quotes that I would just recite to myself. As a Christian, Bible verses I'll recite to myself, giving myself mental strength. I remember particularly in when I was studying for CFA Level 3, I got so demoralized that I had to basically thrive on external motivation. So you know all this sports motivation on YouTube, you can do this, you can, all this sports motivation in the morning when I'm very tired and I don't think I have any strength for this. And then I'll just play some of them just to get a little external help. And then I also had my family and friends who were actually very supportive. And then I'll end with this. You should use different study strategies. Sometimes you don't know the one that is best for you. And then if you see something or somebody suggests it, you can try it. But if it's not working for you, just drop it and move to the next one. So those are the points I would give for now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. I like how you say it for now. So because I'll come back to you again. Thank you very much for that. So when I picked a lot of things from what you said, so I read your profile. still talking about you, Joy, and I read how you passed all the exams at one sitting. And now I'm listening to you, and I'm wondering, you passed at one sitting. How did you? That profile doesn't show you were ever demoralized. Like it doesn't show. I mean, how does someone who passed everything at one sitting sound like someone who was demoralized, tired, needed external motivation, needed support, you know? And I'm wondering, is it always like that?
I've spoken to a lot of people who have written CFA, and I don't know of one person who went through it like tough and like breezed through it. And in fact, a lot of people will say that CFA affects your mental health. Have you heard it before? I'm sure a lot of people have heard it. CFA affects your mental health.
I think Shubomi nodding in agreement.
Because sometimes you would doubt yourself. You survive on bread and water if that's what it needs to, because you cannot stand up to go and get food, or you take certain things. You just wing it for a while, and it requires a lot of planning. And I think for me, CFA has taught me that I can plan. I can survive anything. If I survived CFA, I can learn anything. I actually learned put options and call options and the rest of all those complicated things. Then I can understand anything. I can. So I planned. It may not look like that on the surface. You only hear the end results. I passed, but you don't know all the things that went behind it. How I started studying like 9 months or 10 months in advance because I work in audits and our schedule is unpredictable. How I did not go for leave for most of my exams. How for my CFA Level 1, I was shocked when Dixon said he was actually confident he was going to register. Such confidence. For my CFA Level 1 result, the day the result was going to come out, I took that day off because I did not think I'll be able to handle the emotions at work. So I just took the day. I remember I slept and then I woke up. Exam results usually come out around 1 p.m., 2 p.m. And I woke up and I just checked, passed, really nice. Because I didn't think I'd be able to wade through it and be able to handle that emotion at work. And it happens to, I've read even people outside Nigeria, some of them cannot go to work on the day the result comes out. It's a normal part, and I'm not saying this to discourage people. It's just good when you know what you would face and know that some of us, we've gone through it, and now you just see it as one line on our profile, past CFA level, past CFA at one sitting. But I would say it is worth it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I was just taking notes from what you said. Thank you so much. It's really interesting, and I like the fact that, and I asked that question just to drill in a little bit more and get more practical and be able to connect more with our audience and listeners. I mean, as a matter of fact, it's being streamed live on YouTube right now, and what happens is that even after now, the truth is a lot of people go to that place to dig out these videos, and you just can't tell how helpful the stories you are sharing tonight is. So behind the passing at one sitting every single time, there is a whole lot, a whole lot that goes into it. Thank you very much for sharing that. So that was a veteran's perspective. So let me ask somebody exact same question, somebody who just passed in February. So Shibomi.
Yeah.
So tell us, sure you remember the question. So optimal tips and strategies.
Okay, so for me, right, I'm not going to speak about any other person's strategy. I'm just going to speak about how I prepared for the exams.
Please do.
Yeah. So, I mean, I understood that when I was about to write the exam, I had no prior experience or knowledge like in finance, because I decided to write the exam like 2 months into the role.
Yeah.
So what I did was I registered for the classes. I saw on the websites that you need an average of 300 hours to study for each level of the exam. So I went for classes, right, with New Frontiers. While I was doing the classes, I was reading. So I took classes with people that were taking the exams, like the diet before my diet. So I was writing in February. I took classes with people writing in November. Then I had an accountability partner who was also writing in November. So I was reading at the same pace as people writing in November. Because I didn't want to put myself in that situation where like that I would just, go along with everyone, answer questions. Like I wanted to also have time to just be by myself to really prepare. And also because I was saving for the exam and it was quite costly. So I registered like with the early registration for February. So I had an accountability partner, right? When it was like November, I was done with like 80% of the curriculum. I read the curriculum as well. So I printed out all the curriculums because like all the materials, because I don't really do well with like reading from laptops. So I printed all the materials out. I bought like highlighting pens. And as I was reading through, if there was any points that I saw that was like very important or like something that I knew that I would have to revise, I would highlight it. You get? So when I was done with the lessons, I was 80% done with the curriculum. I finished the curriculum like a month afterwards, like my first reading. Then I started revising. So I started using the ecosystem. I started solving practice questions. So there were like 3,000 questions or something on the 3,000 ecosystem. So I started taking everything study session by study session. Because there are a lot of readings, then the readings are grouped into study sessions. So on each day, I would revise like a study session. I would revise all the readings. I'll go through the materials, like with the highlights and everything. It's easier for me to now go through the curriculum. So I'll go through the curriculum over again, solve all the questions for that study session, and then I was tracking my progress. So I actually had like an Excel where I was recording my scores by the side for my end of chapter. Okay, also, after reading the end of chapter, after reading the curriculum, after reading each reading, I would solve the end of chapter questions and then score myself the percentage. So when I started my revision, I started with the places that was weak, like my weakest readings. So I weighed everything, and that was how I like kept doing the revisions and everything. So for the ecosystem, right, I answered like all the questions. I took it study session by study session, like I was building on it. Then after I went through the ecosystem the first time, I solved the first mock exam. And then I was also tracking my percentile rank on the online platform. So after I went through the first one, I think the first time after doing all that, on the mock exam, I got 66% or something. And then I was like, I wanted to get 70%, right? Because there was also some news that 70% is the best score for you to be sure, for you to be comfortable, because you can't be sure, right? Then after that, I went through the whole process again, starting with the places that I was weakest at. So that means I went through the curriculum like 3 times, and I went through the entire material with classes 1 time. So it was like I went through the whole thing 4 times because I was just trying to be as thorough as possible. So the second time I cleared all the questions, and then I solved the questions again, went through the study session, starting from places I was weakest at, places I was strongest at, did the second mock exam, and my score dropped in the second mock exam. So at that point, this was like a week to my exam. I was like, I was on panic mode. My percentile rank was 66th percentile, and on the second mock exam, I got 64%. So I was quite worried that, how am I going to go about this? So, my friend even got married like 2 days before that, 2 days after that, like 5 days to the exam. And before I was thinking of, if my score comes out well, I'll go for my friend's wedding and everything. But I was this close to missing her wedding. Like I just went there for like 30 minutes to just show my face and I just left. So I also was lucky because I got 3 weeks of leave from work. So throughout that period, like I was reading throughout, like it was enough time for me to like really focus and like get up to speed. So after the second mock exam, what I did was I knew like my time was limited. So I grouped the different study sessions. I had like 3 categories. The first category was study sessions that I got below 70% in the 2 mock exams. The second one was study sessions that I got below 70% in 1 mock exam. And the last one was study sessions that I got above 70%. So I started like from the weakest part again, right? And then towards the exams, like the 5 days, like I made sure that the ones that was weakest at, I revised them every single day. So let's say study session A, I was very weak at it. And study session B, I was a bit better. So on day 1, I'll do study session A, focus on it. Day 2, I'll do study session A and B. Day 3, I'll do study session A, B, C. So it made me like have enough time to like prepare for the areas where I was weakest at. Yeah, so that was literally like the way I went about it, like preparing for the exams. Yeah.
That was quite elaborate. Thank you very much, Shubomi. So you had to be strategic. So it wasn't just there's an exam to write, you just went in. No, so you had to be really strategic. So let's talk about that time you came to school and said you're coming to register for your level 2.
No, so the thing is, first of all, yeah, you have to like form confidence now, because but like personally, right, I felt like I did everything humanly possible. Like at that point, I asked myself that if this result was to come out and I did not pass, like what am I going to say or do? Like what do I want to do? So I made sure that I really, really prepared like for it, because I mean it was a very big gamble for me. Like I just literally just went to take the exam. I had no prior knowledge. Of course, I had like a good support system, you know, at work, family, friends. Everyone was like really pushing me. In fact, like those days towards the exams, I had like a piece of paper that I posted on my wall, and I wrote down the names of all my friends, family, and people that were like really pushing me. It's like, so I mean, if I look up, I'm like, do I want to disappoint all these people? That kind of thing. So I was just really just trying to push myself.
A strong why.
Yeah, a strong why. And then towards I also like thought like ahead, like apart from the level 1. So I want to write my level 2 in November. And I know that in 2023, there is no level 2 in February. So you know, coming to school that day was like me just, I think I was passing the environment. So I just came and I said hi, because level 2 classes had already started.
Yeah, they are.
Some of my guys were already there. So I just stopped by to see what was going on and everything. And also, I have to give credit to, you know, some of the tutors at a lot of practically all the tutors are New Frontiers, because they were very dear, they were very helpful. I still remember QM, like after everything in January was very weak, and then I just texted Ibrahim. I was like, Chief, please, this thing is not entering. And then it was like, okay, no problem. And all of us that were writing in February, he organized classes for us straight like that, and you know, it was very, very helpful. You know, yeah.
So thank you so much. That was really touching. That's good. And so I listened to both of you. So Shubumi, I listened to you and I heard you were talking about identifying what the weak points were, right? You kept going back to that, and I liked how the study session A was a weak point for you, and study section B was just there. So on Monday you will read study session A. On Tuesday you don't just read study session B, you read study session A and B, right? Then on Wednesday you will do study session A, B, and C. So what that does is you have touched A, you know, over and over again, touched B over and over again, and probably like just down like that. Again, highly strategic. Thank you. That's highly practical. Before I continue with the questions, just to be sure that our audience, are listening in. So let me find out if you got anything from what they have said. I'm about to do a summary of what they have said before we move on. Just type something you have picked up in the comment, in the chat box. I keep calling it the comment section. Forgive me. In the chat box there. Let me just to know that you are participating. If I do not get 5 comments in this chat, then we will not continue because I need to be sure that you are picking something. All right. So, and if the style that works for you is to unmute and say something, I would allow you to unmute yourself and say something about. I need to be sure that we are passing something across to you, right? So let's do that. Let's get on our keyboards and start typing. So I think I will go first and say identify your weak points. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so somebody beat me to it. Okay, so be very strategic about the study. Thank you, Praise. I just said, Oluwatobi says, have a study strategy, know your areas of weakness, solve lots of questions. Thank you. Wisdom Patrick, early preparation matters a lot. I had Joy talking about 9 to 10 months on one of the occasions. It's like full gestation period. So if your background was in medicine, and I said I understood where that was coming from, but anyway, you're a woman, so I still understand where that's coming from. But then it has paid off. Thank you. Taiwo Lori, yes. Hello, first is to know your study style. Thank you. Yeah, that's very true. I think Joy really explained that. First is to know your study style. However, you can use different study strategies. That's true. Ayodeji, know the reading strategy that works for you. Lekwamo, study hard. Thank you. What Ketu says, early preparation. Thank you very much, guys. So at least now I'm confident that you are following through. So I'll do a quick run through of what I got here from finding your reading strategy. Summary doesn't work for me was what Joy said. It has to be comprehension. It has to be comprehensive, as it were. So she was into the curriculum just like Shibumi as well, from start to finish. Study time, she was practical to say, that experience at your client's office at Ikoyi, where you studied all night, and there is no better way to say it than that on Saturday, it just gets useless. That's the right word, because that's what it is. The whole of Saturday will be useless. There is no, for some people, right, who are not nocturnal, as it were, studying at night. So that's that. A strong why. Yeah, Shibumi also mentioned a strong why. It's important. Have a support system. They both talked about the place of the support system. Yes, there is a way the CFA exam takes away your entire social life. There is no, let's not mix it up. There's no better way of saying it, right? Both of them talked about attending a friend's wedding or a cousin's wedding. I'm sure you had both of them. And Joy said she wasn't enjoying the wedding at all. She didn't enjoy the wedding at all. And she said she had to go 30 minutes straight his face and come back. I came, this is me. But there's a stronger wedding that is calling for my attention, and I need to go back to So you will need a support system. Yes, you would need a support system. You will need a support system. Quotes, scriptures, mental health, God, spiritual strength, external motivation, you will need to hold on to. Thank you very much. I can see something interesting now. Taiwo Lori, thank you. He says, yeah, Shibumi talked about having an accountability partner. Yes, that's true. He did talk about that. Thank you very much. Yeah, accountability partner, and it was at par with folks in November, such that he had all the time to revise by himself. Curriculum, class, ecosystem. Yes, I remember you talking about solving the questions from the ecosystem. Those are the people who said the questions, who said the exam questions anyway. So why not look at what they have in the first place? Identifying your weakest points, and all that. So thank you very much. We also talked about reaching out to a teacher, which is something we will talk about as time goes on. Okay, so thank you very much for those optimal strategies. So typically what happens, or what has happened in previous editions of this impact series is that, because this is the most important, or one of the most important questions as it were, so I don't like running away from it. But one thing I found out is that after we take this question like this, and I do this summary, there is usually one of the speakers or two of them will remember something that they missed out. So is it the same tonight? Is there something you want to say before I move to the next thing? Because again, this is one of the most important questions we will answer tonight, really.
Yes, I remember something. Before I actually started studying for CFA Level 1, I wanted to test the waters. So that's for those people here who they're not sure if they should start or not. So I saw some free materials. I think at that point, Investopedia had a summary of CFA Level 1 on their website. So I'll just read and summarize and see, and just test the materials. Is this something I'm even interested in before I commit a significant part of my earnings on this exam? So that when I did that in 2017, and then I was convinced that it was the right, I enjoyed the material, and I think this kind of knowledge is what I want to have, then I registered for it.
Okay, thank you very much. That's really helpful to someone out there. So there are several free sites. I think New Frontiers even offers free lectures on the first or second weekend, for example, and there are free sites out there where you can just test the waters and just to be sure that this is something you really want to do, right? Thank you very much for mentioning that. That was helpful. Shubomi, is there something you would like to add?
Maybe just like managing the stress, because most times when you're preparing for the CFA, you always have work, and no matter what, like work would not want to allow you just have enough time to prepare for your exams and stuff. You know, they're always like deliverables and stuff. So I would say that area actually needs like a deliberate effort, like to planning. So most times, a lot of people, we all say, oh, we want to try reading at night and everything after work. And then you come back and then you're tired and you sleep. So it's also important that you have enough time so that you can try different strategies and fail. And say, okay, this one is not working for me. Then try another one. Say, okay, this one is not working. That one is not working. Because like when I first started, I was like, oh, I'll be reading at night. It was not working. And then I started trying to read during breaks at work and all. It was not working. So I literally had to start going to bed by like 10 p.m. to wake up by 4:30 to read before going to work. Because I was lucky that my office was not so far away from my house. So I didn't need to like leave the house by like 5. And also it's just like about like organizing yourself and actually having enough time to like try different strategies to see which one would actually work for you. Because you can't know how you're going to prepare from the onset. Like when you start, you have to keep reiterating and saying, okay, yes, this is not working. Okay, let me try another thing. This is not working. Okay, this is working for me. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I would like to add to that. So
please
so what I did, similar to what he said, was at that point it was pre-COVID, so everybody was going to work. So I would leave my house very early, and because of CFA, it was one of the reasons why I decided it's not a good time for me to start driving, because I would spend a lot of time driving. So instead, I would take a public transport. So while in the bus, I would read. So I spent maybe 1 hour going, 1 hour coming, reading in the bus. And so, someone asked, what about the noise? What about the distraction? So I only read there are easy materials in CFA. There are like maybe ethics, some parts in FRA, financial report analysis. There are some easy materials. So when I'm in the bus or maybe solving questions, those easy materials, I'll do that in the bus. And then I'll get to office early, read from 7 to 8, and then I just try to avoid spending time in traffic. But if I had to spend time in traffic, I had to be productive.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's really strategic as well. Thank you so much. And it's profound what Shibomi said. You really can't tell. So you can't be coming with this is how I prepared for this exam. This is how I prepared. How I did it in the university. There's something about preparing for the CFA exams that's just different. Judy summarized it here and said, fail fast. Yes, there has to be enough time for you to be able to test this and test that. It's essentially an agile approach. It's essentially an agile approach. So looking at what works and continue doing it, and saying that something doesn't work and being true to yourself and stopping it immediately and building up on that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let me move on to the next question. Thank you so much. Okay, so the next question that I would ask tonight is, so we used to, so you said a lot, whether I say self-paced learner in preparing for your exams, or whether you took classes. Would you say there is any value, for example, in attending classes for the CFA exams? And if you think so, I think you should share what value it is with us. Yes, you've spoken to some of those things, but I just wanted to, is there any value in studying in taking classes, for the exams? Yes, there is the curriculum. Yes, there are summary notes and study notes and all kinds of beautiful resources out there. But then is there something about being in class, being in an African class where you are being taught by an African or something? Is there any value to these things? I don't. Any of you can go first. I'm opening it up now.
Okay, I'll go first. So one of the values I see is that your facilitators will be able to translate more or less the American financial system, which is prevalent in CFA material, to Nigerian terms. So there are some terms you see in the curriculum, and they are basically American kind of system, American kind of regulators. So for example, if somebody is explaining and say, oh, that is the equivalent of Nigerian CBN, or that's the equivalent of Nigerian SEC, and then try to explain it or use examples that you can relate with as you're in Nigeria. It just may take a lot more effort if you had to read it yourself and interpret it yourself. And then the facilitators will simplify it. So they've gone ahead of you, they've read it, they've understood it, and some of them are even practicing with the materials. So they will simplify the materials and try to make it as easy as possible. And then, as Dixon said, when you don't understand, you have somebody that you can call and ask the person to help you out. And you have your fellow colleagues in the class that you can ask for help, or you can just help each other, share tales and comfort each other. And those are some of the benefits, I think, of attending New Frontiers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joy. Thank you very much for that. So support system comes up there, getting someone to ask questions when you need help, and some of that. Thank you very much, Joy. Okay, so Shibomi, let's have you.
Okay, I think classes were very important for me, because before I started classes, right, I actually tried studying by myself, and it wasn't working. Like I was moving very slowly. I didn't know anyone else that was writing the exam, so I was literally all just by myself. And then when I joined classes, I know, I was in a system. I had like an ecosystem of people that were faced with the same challenges. So yes, I mean, I'm a social person. CFA took away my social life, but I created new bonds with people in the classes who were facing similar circumstances, all coming for classes, spending our weekends together there. The tutors are all CFA charter holders, so they've all experienced it. You have, for every single course, you might have like 2 or 3 tutors, and they're all telling you their experiences, how they went by passing the exam. So you get to learn a lot about the exam. You get to understand different strategies and everything. In fact, there were classes where the the tutors would be teaching us how to use the calculators, how to move faster, like with the calculator, how to do different things, how to just look at the question and just discern and just like it was good because it brought me into that ecosystem. Being someone who doesn't have a finance background, and now being surrounded by so many people that have gone through the same thing, have succeeded, right? And then also people that faced the same challenge. It was, I think, it was very good. It was very good for me.
Thank you very much. So again, having same people, having an ecosystem of people who you expect to who are also taking the exams like yourself, right? Having them around and strategies from teachers. As far as this is how to use the calculator, this is how to discern when you look at a question. It's really, really good. Now, you've spoken about the value of attending classes, and that was to cater for just attending any class, right? But now let's talk about new frontiers. And this time around, we will be as practical as it can. And I just want to stop so sometimes some of our founders are working. One told me that he was in an hospital and somebody was greeting him and he said, I don't know you. From where is it? New Frontiers? And they meet all kinds of people like that all over the world, right? Because New Frontiers has been doing this for more than a decade, 12 years now. And about 3,000 people have passed through New Frontiers at one point or the other in their career. So there's hardly any place you get to in this financial services or investment space, and you say New Frontiers, I need to be strange to them. So really, I know we've had that impact in the last 12 years, but I want to be sure that it's the same level of impact or even more. What would you say as an existing charter holder or as a faculty member, that's the joy, and as a candidate for you, Shubomi, what would you say is, I can say is because currently, not only for someone like Shubomi, not only did you take your level 1 with us, and when the moment you passed in February, you joined classes immediately, and you are getting ready for your level 2 program. What would you say is New Frontiers' role in your life as a candidate or in the life of the candidates that you teach? What role does New Frontiers really get to play in their life? Is it just noise? Is it just another way to grab somebody's money? Is there really a role that this thing plays, that setting up a school like this plays in helping people succeed? People can self-study. Many of you self-studied, but I know that if you had the option of a New Frontiers then or something, you probably would have jumped on that offer. So what role would you say New Frontiers plays in your life as an existing candidate or in the lives of the candidates you teach as a faculty member? So I'll take you first, Joy.
Thank you, Ayo. I think if I had New Frontiers, I would have panicked less. I told you of how much panic I had. I don't think anyone who goes through New Frontiers will have that amount of panic because I had a limited amount of people around me, and I probably would have been more confident. I would have been more ahead of the class. I would have been better with using calculator, as Dixon said. The journey would have been smoother for me. I would have just spent less efforts and I would have gotten more results. Like I would have had a better quality of life, personal life. So that's the role I think New Frontiers would play. And there's something about listening to someone explain something, give you examples of that, those examples and what they've said can just come alive when you're writing exams. So that's what New Frontiers bring to the candidates. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joy. Thank you so much. So less panic for you, a better quality of life, personal life, while you prepare for the exams. Are examples from teachers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That sounded a bit personal. Thank you very much. Thank you. So Shubomi, I hoping you have.
For me, to be honest, yeah, I think it's like that system kind of like becomes like a family, so to say, right? That even if like you're doing whatever at work, you're doing whatever at home, you have different people that, you know, have like that up to different things. With New Frontiers, it kind of like brings you into that system. Like even after you finish the exams and all, your group chats will still be there. You'd still relate with all these people. You have access to so many people. Like even on a career, from a career perspective, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I mean,
Oh, please go
the
ahead.
charter holders that are there, it's not like they're doing badly, they're doing well wherever they're working, and you tend to know about openings in roles that you'd like to work at like on time.
Absolutely.
So even like for your career as well. So I noticed that the CFA society, like the ecosystem, kind of like carries their people along. So like no one wants to see you struggle or something. You can start doing lessons there, just pass, and then you're getting job offers right from inside the same place. So it's kind of like a family. So I think it's important for anyone that's trying to enter the finance industry.
Thank you very much, Shubomi. Thank you so much. It's so good to know that what we're doing at New Frontiers is helping a lot of people and helping a lot of lives. And thank you for agreeing to do this for us tonight. So I'll just let you catch your break for maybe about 10 minutes. I'm supposed to do this for 15, but no, I'll do it in 10. And there may just be 1 or 2 persons who would like more information about CFA. And then so I will do a quick presentation on CFA and you. Then after that, we'll come and take the audience's questions. So please, guys, I need all your questions to start rolling in. Start typing them in the chat box. Any questions that you have at all, so that we can take them. But in the meantime, I will just run straight to sharing my screen now and just show you something in just about 10 minutes. So thank you very much. So you will please confirm that you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen, please? Please confirm that you can.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I got just one yes. Okay, I see. Okay, thank you, Onide. Thank you, Oluwatobi. Thank you, Wisdom. Okay, good. So then let's do this together in 10 minutes while we allow our speakers catch their breath, then they'll come back to take our questions. In the meantime, please start dropping your questions in the chat box. We've been quite an engaging audience. So yeah, here is where we are tonight from New Frontiers Learning Center. Welcome and introductions, interviews. The CFA and you is where we are now. Then we'll take question and answers that will be this evening. So I like to always start with someone's story about New Frontiers. So this is a LinkedIn review. Not even a review on New Frontiers website. This is on LinkedIn. This was on LinkedIn. So we grabbed this from Oluwapelomi Fadola, who is now a charter holder. Says, I received my charter today, having passed the 3 levels of the CFA program at first attempt, and met the requirements of the CFA Institute. It's quite a journey. It was quite a journey, and I'm really grateful for this milestone. Many thanks to the tutors at New Frontiers Learning Center for the knowledge shared, right? The CFA program is the most respected and most recognized financial markets and investment credential in the world. It's administered by the CFA Institute based in the United States of America. There are about 200,000 charter holders globally, and the number in Nigeria is growing rapidly. The exam requires passing 3 levels of exams, 36 months of qualifying work experience, and pledging to adhere to the code of ethics of standards of ethics and standards of professional conduct, right? So the exams are usually tested in in an approximately 5-hour exam across each level. So level 1 is the format that you're interested in tonight. So it's at level 1 is multiple choice questions, purely multiple choice questions. Vignette supported at level 2, multiple choice. Level 3 is vignette supported, but with constructed response questions and vignette supported multiple choice questions. But at level 1, which we're focusing on tonight, is the multiple choice questions, right? And the topic areas, 10 topic areas: ethics, financial statement analysis, quantitative methods, portfolio management and wealth planning, equity, fixed income, corporate issuers, derivatives, economics, and alternative investments, right? Those are the topic areas for the exams. And the 2022 exam dates, of course, February, May, August, and November. The May exams held last month, of course. Folks, some are preparing for the August exam right now, and the November exams at level 1, right? So let's move on from there. So New Frontiers. Our story is a true one, and it's born out of a compelling desire to help ease the journey of every single CFA candidate in Nigeria. Our founders went through this journey with little or no support of any kind, and they vowed to help turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate. That's the dream of earning the prestigious CFA charter, irrespective of your backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. And the story of someone like Chibomi attests to that. He pivoted from engineering, and he's passed his level 1 exam at one sitting, and he's getting ready for his level 2, for example. Today, after an entire decade of pursuing this vision, our market has experienced significant leaps through the influx of about 3,000, not 2,000 now, professionals from New Frontiers who are now revolutionaries in the various markets. Because what we do is beyond preparing you for exams, we're setting you up for a successful career. We're helping you to succeed. When we were conducting interviews for a new set of teachers, one of the teachers told us a story, and he told me that at the time when Nigerians used to go write the CFA exams in Ghana, there was a particular year when he was going to write his own exams as well. He didn't school with New Frontiers, but then he saw at New Frontiers that some founders were going with students, traveling with students to Ghana. And it just occurred to him and said, these people are not just helping you prepare for exams, they are actually taking you to success, right? Because the support that you provide for students is beyond just getting them to pass exams. At New Frontiers, we believe that the exams, CFA exams are already tough. So why complicate the process? Let's help with the process. And that's exactly why the market exists. Here are our founders, Ayokunle Ojo, Michael Ayima, Banji Fentola, Olani Ogunbayo. You might know these people. The information about them is available, publicly available information on the internet all over the place right now. So these are the founders of New Frontiers Learning Center. Why New Frontiers? This is the reason why we would suggest New Frontiers to anybody. Number 1 is world-class faculty of leading investment professionals. When you see somebody as a member of faculty in New Frontiers, your teachers are industry leaders. That's the reality at New Frontiers. We have over 10 years of experience and leadership in this space. We have scholarships, discounts, and special offers. As a matter of fact, you just need to talk to us. You just need to reach out to us. If there is any reason why you want to end the charter and it's becoming difficult due to certain constraints, we have systems in place that help people, right? And help them succeed. Don't just keep quiet. You need to reach out, and get all the help that you can. Class assignments, tests, mock exams to reinforce classes. We have a no pass, no pay policy, of course, the terms and conditions that apply. And there's candidate support. Shibomi was talking about the possibility of even getting jobs and career opportunities while still taking classes at New Frontiers. And that's because people know, organizations know what New Frontiers is capable of providing, the level of training that they provide for their candidates that is beyond just passing exams, relevant information to help them succeed on their job and build a career that is successful. So they reach out to us whenever these job opportunities exist in that place. They reach out first of all to us many times before they go out there to the market talking to everybody. So these opportunities exist in school. Now this is Busola Jeje. Busola Jeje on LinkedIn, under LinkedIn review. I'm happy to announce that I passed the August CFA Level 3 exam. This was last year. My CFA journey has been filled with tears, caffeine, sleepless nights, and panic attacks. But I'm grateful to God that I finished all levels at one sitting. Particularly grateful for the solid knowledge learned and how it has positively shaped my career. Special shout out to the tutorial center, New Frontiers Learning Center I use for all my levels and my tutors. You know, here are the names of people I was showing. Some of their names are here. I mean, all their names are here. Banji's name, Michael, Ayokunle, Olani, and everybody mentioned like that. That's another reason. So we have these new offerings. This is like one of the things that Joy and Shubomi have mentioned tonight is finding your study strategy, finding your learning route. So we have a regular physical program that runs for 16 weekends, right? It happens in class Friday evening, which is usually virtual. We don't do physical classes on Friday evenings for security reasons, and because you're going to have full days on Saturday and on Sundays as well. So we have Friday evenings from 6:30 p.m. to about 9 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. thereabout. On Saturday and on Sunday, classes start at 9 till 6:30 p.m. on Saturday and Sundays, right? So for 16 weekends at the minimum. Then there are regular online classes. When it's regular, it's 16 weekends as well. It's just that you can be in class physically or be online, you know, experiencing the class on our learning management system, where you can have the classes recorded in case you want to go back to them or you miss the class. The mock exams are uploaded there already. You have access to them at your free will anytime you want to study, you have the resources that you need there. There are the quick review classes for those who can't sit in a 16 weekend class, but can study on their own. And then on the month of the exam, they can have an intensive 4 to 5 weekends, right? There's a quick review program that caters for that one on the month preceding the exam. So for example, we are getting into July. There is an August exam. There will be level 1, there will be level 2 and level 3 quick review programs all in July, right? Just to cater for those who have August exams and help them prepare. So there is the online classes that are recorded, and there are the quick review program also recorded. We call them self-paced. So if you're a self-paced learner and you want to move at your own pace, we can sign you up to the LMS and you have access to all the classes for the physical and online classes fully recorded. Of course, at a lesser cost than if you were at a regular program. So this is our calendar. Right now, we've completed the one at level 1. I'm hoping you can see my mouse from January to April. We had level 1 classes for May and August exams. Right now, this is where we are. Our classes started in April and wrapping up in July for level 2 folks who are writing August exams for level 3 and level 2 folks right now. And this is June. Folks have already been reaching out to us, started paying for their seats, online and physical for the July exam. So this is where we are right now. And this month of July, which is next month, we'll have a quick review class for level 1. Sorry about the omission. Level 1, 2, and 3. And of course, a full program from July to October to cater for the November and February exams. I think this was the class where someone like Shubomi attended last year for the November class and wrote his exams in February. So for level 1, if you're out there or you know someone who wants to jump on the train for the regular program or for the quick review program, July is the month, and you should start talking to our team right now. So yeah, this is it. Get ready for a fully loaded season. Our batteries are fully charged and we're ready for level 1 classes, physical and online, level 2 classes, physical and online, quick review classes, level 1, 2, and 3. And we have a special package for folks who are undergrads and NYSC folks. Now you can register for the CFA exam in your penultimate year. And just before you graduate from school, you can begin the CFA program. And of course, whether you are, and for those who are youth corpers in the NYSC program, we have a special package, a deep discount that we have created for you to suit your circumstance and help you get a head start, ahead of your peers. So somebody somewhere that needs this information, please share with them. And if you are the one, please make sure you reach out to us. The numbers to call are these ones here, Obafemi and Isiaka. More than ready to take your questions. So this is the last review for tonight. And this is Folashade Odejayi, works with the World Bank Group. She says she said that the mock exams at New Frontiers Learning Center helped a lot, and the feedback was always a good tool to judge my preparation level to each phase. If you need a prep center, New Frontiers Learning Center is the place. It's unbelievable how many intelligent people you have in one place. So if you want to contact us, this is how to reach out to us. And we also have a YouTube page where this video for tonight and this presentation and everything will be there. You can always go back to there to watch it or share the link with somebody. Let's help somebody out there. The exams are already difficult, right? So let's not complicate the process. Let's help as many people as we can. So this is the number to call for Bafemi or Isiaka, or you just visit www.newfrontierslearning.com, newfrontierslearning.com/enroll, and follow us on LinkedIn at New Frontiers Learning Center. LinkedIn at New Frontiers Learning Center. The moment you register here, somebody will reach out to you and give you a call. That's if you're unable to reach out immediately after now. So thank you very much. Let's go back to the questions, right, that we have. So I believe some people have shared some questions. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Paul Olufemi says, thank you so much for your time. The webinar was very impactful. Okay, so Joy and Shubomi, I'm back. I'm sure there are some questions for you here already. So Taiwo Olawi says, do you advise one to take the November diet lecture, even though the person intends to write in February, considering there might be little adjustments to the syllabus? So I think, let me speak to this first of all. If you have, for example, made if registrations are made for the February exams, right, there is no, and I stand to be corrected by Joy and Shubomi, if you have made payments in this current year for February exams next year, there will be no changes to that curriculum for February exam, right? So the earliest changes you will see will probably happen in May, and by the time you are getting your, what do I call it now, your curriculum, you will already be catered for. Meanwhile, even if there are changes, this is how we do it at New Frontiers. The moment you become a student or a part of the family, using Shubomi's language now at New Frontiers, right? What we'll do is you get the best of both worlds. What that means is you get access to the learning management system, right? Where even after your classes end, for example, in November, you have access to those recordings till, what do we call it now? Till February when you write your exams. And then if there are any changes, right, you can always reach out to our teachers. You will have access to their directories, their phone numbers, to anything that it is. Once you are a member of the family in New Frontiers, you will always have access to the New Frontier family. But you always have access to our resources, even our teachers. But I do not think that if you have registered for the February exams now, that there will be changes to that exam. If you have made your payment right now and you have attended classes, I'm sure someone like Shubomi should be able to speak to that, since this was his exact situation.
Yeah. So for me, right, when you register for the exams, the curriculum you're going to use becomes available to you on the website, so you can download it. And so for me, I wrote in February 2022. I registered, I think, in June, July 2021. And then I got access to the 2022 curriculum. So I think what happens is that the 2022 curriculum will be ready. The next year's curriculum will be ready from the year before. And then in terms of changes, it's not going to be anything significant. Like, it's just going to be, maybe they just I mean, they can add a reading, they can remove a reading, they can add some examples or take feedback from what's the other people that use the previous curriculum to write the exams. So after you write the exams, they're going to ask you for feedback, what you thought about the curriculum, was it helpful? So they take all that feedback and update the curriculum. So it's not going to be like anything significant, like they're taking you to a different level. It's still like pretty much the same thing.
Thank you very much, Shiboni. Joy, I don't know if you were going to say something about it.
I don't have any other thing to add. Ayo, you and Dixon answered it perfectly.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, so yeah, so Wisdom Patrick says, please, when will class commence for November exams? I mean the exact date. Okay, in the spirit of exactness, July 2nd, 2022, Saturday. Let me be really exact. So Saturday, July 2nd, 2022, 8 a.m. What else? Miss anything? No. So yeah, how exact was that though? So yeah, July 2nd, 2022 is when classes will start right now. So people are beginning to secure their seats already. So please get on it and tell somebody as well. So if you look in the chat box, everyone, there is a 1-minute feedback form. We would like your feedback from this session tonight. Please would just like to appeal to you that, I mean, just in 1 minute, help fill that form. It will help us serve you better. We want to do this as many times as possible. We are thinking every day of how we can just help candidates and help people succeed. Please, we need you to help us fill that. It won't take, it's 1 minute. I've seen the survey myself. It's a 1 minute survey, depending on how you answer. So please help us to help as many other people out there. Okay, so Wisdom, okay, send me a direct message. Okay, so the list of, okay, you want me to answer this directly? Okay, I would. Thank you. Okay, we'd like your feedback. Okay, so is there any other, does anybody else have any other question before I take the parting words from our people, from our speakers tonight? Any other one? Is anybody saying anything so that I can give back the rest of the evening to? I think we've had a really engaging session and a highly engaged audience tonight. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. Okay, how do I get CFA calculator? Okay, so this is one area where we usually help students. Right now, what our students have done in recent times, and they've asked us to get back into the business of doing this, and which we would with time. We're just taking our time right now because of the dollar fluctuations and all that. So right now, people get their CFA calculators from e-commerce sites. I mean, even like Jumia sells, and a number of people have bought from these guys, right? So I think it's the BA2 plus Texas Instrument. Am I correct? Yeah. Okay. So I'll take that as a yes. So yes. So thank you. So yeah, that's how you can get the calculator. Shell. Okay. Oluwatobiloba, thank you very much for this session. It was impactful. Any ideas on when the feedback? Okay, so let me just take this right now. So, okay. Wisdom and Oluwatobi. Okay. I will reach out to you. Since you reached out directly, I think it's just appropriate to revert to you in a direct message. Okay. So thank you very much. If there are no other questions, I think I'd just like to ask, in conclusion, we said a whole lot tonight, and I'm excited that I've been able to contribute again to the ecosystem. It's impactful. You will not believe the extent to which this session we have had tonight will go, how many people will get to see these videos and all that. So please, I like to request at this time for your parting words, your in no particular order, your conclusions. So maybe I'll start with Dixon this time. Dixon, please.
Okay, so parting words would be that if you're still second guessing yourself, like if you want to make the decision to take the CFA, just stop and just do it, because the more like you the more you overthink these things, the more you find reasons not to do them. So just do it. Once you register, like you know that you're already there, and you just have to find a way to go about it. So just go for it. That's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just go for it. So, and that thing about I read the exam, but you haven't registered. So you have to make that move. I think that's what locks you in, right? And also put in, put in your best and get the most out of it. Okay, so thank you very much, Shubomi, for that one. So Joy, let's have you.
Yes, thank you. And my parting words would be CFA is grueling, it's tough, but it's highly rewarding. I can't imagine what my career would be like without CFA. And also, I'd like to add to what Dixon said, time will not wait. If you do not write it now, you probably will still be wishing that you started years ago. You come to 2024 and wishing, I wish I started in 2022. And I also like to add that you may have very good excuses for not writing this exam, or for not reading, or for not writing. But there are no rewards for those excuses. As they say, fortune favors the brave. So I hope you take the best decision for your career. And if you really want to write this exam, just do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joy, for making our time tonight out of your really busy schedule. We really appreciate this. We do not take this lightly. I'm sure you're warming up for the level 1 students classes. You're getting ready again for those round of classes. Thank you very much, as always. It's always a wonderful, always something we look forward to, having you back at school. And for Shubomi, I know it's been a busy work week and it's a busier study weekend. But I saw your timetable, it's still Monday, no public holidays for you, right? So let's see how that works. Thank you so much for making out the time. And Shubomi, I'm looking forward to interviewing you again for level 2, because I know you will pass your exams by God's grace. And then we'll be able to do this again. Thank you so much tonight. We appreciate this. And I can see the audience already saying thank you already. Somebody saying thank you. Okay, guys, so let's say thank you to our folks, and then we can go. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Dixon. Yeah, thanks, Dios. Thank you, Toby Loba, as well. Thank you, audience, for participating and for engaging us very much tonight. Thank you so much. So it's a wrap. I'd like to give you the rest of your evening. So someone like Dixon can still sleep. Hopefully get some sleep tonight. Before I see him tomorrow morning. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for your time and for sharing your experiences. Judith, thank you for coming. Thank you, everyone. Ayodeji, thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you, Joy, once again. Thank you, Dixon. Thank you, everyone, for participating. These videos will be up immediately after this session on YouTube at newfrontierslearningcenter.com. You will do well to subscribe to that page so that you could get notifications for every single thing that we upload there, and there will be lots and lots of resources. At the end of the day, at New Frontiers Learning Center, we want to be responsible for the highest number of success stories when it comes to writing the CFA exams, not just in Africa, not just in Nigeria and Africa, but the world as it were. So we're getting there gradually, and we're taking these steps. So let's be part of your success stories. If you need any help, make sure you reach out to us. We'll be able to work something together and walk through this journey. We understand that you require a lot of help, and we'll be there to help. So thank you once again, everyone, for joining us tonight. It was good having you. So good night, Joy, and good night, Shubomi. Thank you so much again.
All right, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you. Okay. Admin, can we have
kind. However, they vow to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate earning the CFA Chapter, irrespective of their backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. It is this commitment to support our candidates that influences our engagement of a world-class faculty, partnerships, scholarship and discount offers, our online learning management system, and so much more. Our clients' outstanding results across all levels of the exams every year attest to the quality of our top-notch physical and online program in the last 10 years. That's right, we have been impacting the industry for 10 years and have supported about 2,500 professionals in that time space. Register with New Frontiers Learning today. New Frontiers Learning is the #1 tuition center for the CFA exams in Nigeria. Our founders went through their CFA journey with little or no support of any kind. However, they vowed to turn into reality the dream of every CFA candidate earning the CFA Chapter, irrespective of their backgrounds, finance and non-finance alike. It is this commitment to support our candidates that influences our engagement of a world-class faculty, partnerships, scholarship and discount offers, our online learning management system, and so much more. Our clients' outstanding results across all levels of the exams every year attest to the quality of our top-notch physical and online program in the last 10 years. That's right, we have been impacting the industry for 10 years and have supported about 2,500 professionals in that time space. Register with New Frontiers Learning today.